Young and Restless 2-week spoilers September 15th to 26th. Kyle's panic grows and Sally's emotional breakdown shocks. On Monday, September 15th, Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan, bumps into Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, and Devin Hamilton, Brighton James, and the two exes are bickering. Amanda then talks to Lily one-on-one, asking if she misses Devin. Maybe, but I don't think she misses seeing Abby Newman, Melissa Ordway, naked with Devin on the sofa when she caught them cheating. Meanwhile, Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules LeBlanc tells Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, that he's officially on Team Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. Michael is hoping they can put the Sharon Newman, Sharon case, issue behind them, but when he says that Lauren Fenmore, Tracy Bregman, doesn't know and can't know about the job with Kane, that's a red flag to Phyllis. Phyllis hits Michael with ultimatum. She demands that Michael tell her his real agenda, or she's going to tell Kane that Michaela's being shady. Of course, he can't tell Phyllis that he's spying for Victor Newman, Eric Braden. So we'll see what happens. Lily wonders if her kids will forgive Kane. And her brother Devin is wondering if Lily might be softening on Kane, but she says no. She actually thinks it's best if their twins cut Kane out of their lives for good. Devin says he had to do exactly that with his bio father, Tucker McCall, Trevor St. John. Young and Restless spoilers. Kyle and Nate clear the air. Kyle is worried that Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, hates him, but Nate says, we're both Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver's victims. Nate feels like Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, was the one most hurt by Audra. Kyle then tells Nate that Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, has latched onto Claire. Kyle tells him Audra made things really hard for him and Claire, and he's hoping they can move past it. Nate tells him a bunch of people warned him about Audra, and he wishes he had listened. But now Nate is done with Audra for good. She is going to roll up on him soon, though, asking to try and get back together. Amanda helps Kane on YandR. Elsewhere, Amanda asks Kane if he's really going to give Billy Abbott Jason Thompson, the AI program. Kane says, not really. He's going to secretly be controlling it. Billy is only going to think that he's running the show. Amanda agrees to try and befriend Lily to help Kane win his ex back. Then he texts Billy asking if they are good to go. Meanwhile, Claire tells Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, about Kyle and Victor Newman, Eric Braden's $5 million contract. Victoria thinks that it shows how much Kyle loves her, but she also thinks that Victor doing this was shady. Claire also says she didn't like Kyle's over-the-top jealous reaction to Holden. Claire thinks he is being kind of possessive and just too much. Victoria advises Claire to give Kyle a chance. Victoria then shocks Claire when she says Kyle told her he's never had feelings for anyone like he has for Claire, and he didn't even feel about Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, that way. Later, Claire talks to Kyle and asks if he was grilling Nate about Holden. Kyle insists he just doesn't want Holden Novak to take advantage of her. But Claire says Kyle is the one that she's not sure she can trust or not. Then he is pleading with Claire to do a reset and just start over as a couple. Young and the Restless, Newman Media Battles and Relationship Ultimatum. On Tuesday, September 16th, Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, has Chelsea Lawson Newman, Melissa Claire Egan, in a difficult position. I'm going to guess it's about the war with Billy. And maybe Newman Media has done another hit piece because Abbott.com not launching would obviously be front-page news in a Newman publication. Also, Kyle is forced to be the bigger person. This may be about Holden, to prove himself to Claire so she won't break up with him. Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, wants to know if Billy's all right and Sally says no. He is about to make the biggest mistake of his life. That's the same day that Sally puts her foot down with Billy. Basically, Sally is saying, I will walk if you do this with Kane. But Billy might still do it. Young and the Restless spoilers, revenge plots and family warnings. On Wednesday, September 17th, Billy gets together with Kane, and they talk about how long Billy has dreamed of taking down Victor, obviously for years and years, and how Kane and Billy can make this happen, how they can dismantle Newman Enterprises together. Victor takes aim at multiple targets and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, issues a warning to Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott. It's likely that Victor is back to an anti-Abbott vendetta. I think Jack's going to warn Nikki. I usually try and play nice. This time I'm not going to hold back. Also, Kane tries to convince Billy to make amends with Jill Abbott, Jess Walton. On Wednesday, which obviously is a big ask, but Jess Walton is back on Young and the Restless soon as Jill Abbott. Secret meetings and personal struggles. Thursday, September 18th. On Thursday, September 18th, Jack is hoping Victoria can help him. It may be about Victor, but I doubt it because he knows Victor isn't going to listen to anybody. I'm just wondering if Jack is asking Victoria to intervene with Billy and try to talk him out of the revenge scheme and teaming up with Kane. We'll see. Kane is trying to charm Lily on Thursday, and it may work to some extent. That's the same day Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, and Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziadei, meet in the park behind Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks' back. Mariah insisted that Daniel keep this secret from Tessa. Daniel says, "Yeah, I didn't tell her we were meeting." Now, Mariah could be jealous and trying to run Daniel off and get him away from Tessa, but I kind of doubt it. Mariah may want to ask Daniel to keep an eye out for Tessa while she's gone. So, Mariah has decided she's going to leave town for a while to work through her issues over trying to kill the old guy. Failed blackmail and strategic alliances. Friday, September 19th. Friday, September 19th, we've got Billy running into a problem. He thought he could just threaten and blackmail Victor, and he would roll over and give him what he wants. So obviously, that's going to fail. That may be the problem Billy runs into. Lauren is working very hard to impress Christine Williams, Laura Lee Bell. Obviously, it's about the wedding plans. That wedding is happening in October. Plus, Kane arranges a meeting with his posse to go over the plan of attack on Victor. So we'll see if Holden and Michael are going to be there along with Billy and Phyllis and Amanda. If everybody is outed as a Kane ally. Young and the Restless. High stakes in Genoa City. The week of September 22nd through the 26th, we've got Kane and his team moving forward against Victor. So Kane's got everything lined up. He's ready to put his plan into motion. He just needs Billy out there as his frontman, as the scapegoat. Speaking of Billy, he needs help. Obviously, he thought he could threaten Victor, which wasn't going to work. Billy was hoping to force his hand with just the threat of the AI software, but it looks like it won't work, and he's going to need Kane and the AI software, which he doesn't know he won't be really controlling. Victoria makes a decision. Obviously, she doesn't want the family to be in another nuclear war with the Abbotts, and she obviously doesn't want the father of two of her children going down the drain. The streets of Genoa City are about to get even more intense as two fan-favorite characters find themselves on the edge of emotional collapse. Over the next 2 weeks, viewers of The Young and the Restless will witness Kyle Abbott spiraling into panic, while Sally Spectra's carefully maintained facade begins to crumble in ways no one saw coming. The drama, secrets, and emotional upheaval promise to deliver the kind of jaw-dropping twists that YandR fans live for. Kyle Abbott, a panic that refuses to subside. Kyle Abbott has always been the composed, calculating son of the Abbott family, smart, strategic, and occasionally reckless when it comes to love. But recent developments in his life are pushing him to a breaking point. Over the next 2 weeks, spoilers reveal that Kyle's anxiety and panic attacks will escalate, leaving him vulnerable in ways that could dramatically affect both his personal and professional life. The catalyst for Kyle's growing panic is a looming business scandal that threatens to ruin not just him, but also the Abbott family legacy. With Victor Abbott always lurking in the shadows, any mistake Kyle makes could have devastating consequences. As whispers of betrayal and sabotage circulate within Jabot, Kyle is forced to confront the reality that someone close to him may be orchestrating events from behind the scenes. Adding fuel to the fire, Kyle's love life is in disarray. While he has been trying to maintain a relationship with a key romantic interest, unresolved tensions and unspoken truths are bubbling to the surface. The suspense around his romantic entanglements only intensifies his panic. Expect scenes of late-night pacing, sleepless nights, and heart-pounding moments where Kyle grapples with the fear of failure, both professionally and personally. Fans can anticipate a particularly shocking scene where Kyle faces a critical decision that could jeopardize everything he's worked for. His internal struggle, amplified by mounting external pressures, makes it clear that Kyle is teetering on the edge. Will he rise to the occasion, or will panic take control and lead to disastrous consequences? Sally Spectra, the emotional breakdown no one saw coming. While Kyle battles external and internal pressures, Sally Spectra's world is unraveling in a way that is both heartbreaking and shocking. Known for her strength, determination, and fiery personality, Sally has often been the emotional rock for those around her. However, the next 2 weeks reveal that even Sally is not immune to the weight of betrayal and personal loss. Sally's emotional breakdown is triggered by a series of events that hit close to home. Relationships she believed were solid begin to fracture, secrets from her past resurface, and professional pressures mount as she faces unexpected challenges at Spectra Fashions. Viewers will witness Sally struggling to maintain her composure, only to eventually crack under the mounting pressure. In a series of scenes that are sure to tug at viewers' hearts, Sally is seen confiding in close friends, expressing vulnerability rarely displayed by her character. Expect raw, tear-filled confrontations, moments of isolation, and explosive outbursts that reveal the depth of her emotional turmoil. Her breakdown is not just a personal crisis. It sends shockwaves through her relationships and the larger Genoa City community. One spoiler scene teases an especially gut-wrenching moment where Sally is forced to make a heart-wrenching choice between her career and her personal integrity. The fallout from this decision threatens to alter her life in ways she never imagined, leaving fans questioning whether she can recover or if this marks a turning point for her character. Intertwined destinies. Kyle and Sally's lives collide. The true suspense comes when Kyle's panic and Sally's emotional breakdown intersect. The next 2 weeks set the stage for a tense, emotionally charged confrontation between the two. Kyle, consumed by fear and desperation, reaches out to Sally for guidance, only to find her equally shaken and unsteady. The resulting interaction is a volatile mix of tension, vulnerability, and raw emotion. Viewers can expect a scene where the two characters, in a moment of honesty, lay their fears and insecurities bare. Kyle's panic-stricken admission clashes with Sally's emotional rawness, creating a volatile mix that could either lead to mutual understanding or explosive conflict. This dynamic will likely shift the trajectory of both characters in ways that reverberate throughout Genoa City. Adding a twist to the mix, spoilers hint that a hidden antagonist may attempt to exploit both Kyle and Sally during their most vulnerable moments. Whether it's a business rival, a jealous ex-lover, or someone from their past, the stakes are higher than ever. This element ensures that fans are kept on the edge of their seats as they watch Kyle and Sally navigate not only their personal crises, but also the manipulations of those around them. Fan reactions, emotional turbulence ahead. The next 2 weeks promise to be a roller coaster for YandR fans. Social media is already buzzing with speculation about how Kyle and Sally will handle their respective crises. Will Kyle succumb to panic, making choices that haunt him forever? Will Sally's emotional breakdown be a catalyst for growth, or will it spiral into further chaos? The answers remain tantalizingly uncertain, but one thing is clear. These storylines will dominate discussions and fan theories for weeks to come. Moreover, the emotional intensity of these arcs is expected to resonate with viewers on a personal level. Kyle's panic and Sally's breakdown are not just dramatic plot points. They reflect relatable struggles with anxiety, stress, and the challenge of maintaining composure under pressure. The writer's commitment to authenticity ensures that audiences will feel deeply connected to both characters, rooting for their recovery while fearing the worst. Looking ahead, high stakes and shocking twists. As the weeks unfold, Genoa City will witness decisions that could redefine the Abbott family legacy and shake Spectre fashions to its core. Kyle's panic and Sally's breakdown are just the beginning of a larger narrative of suspense, intrigue, and emotional intensity. Expect shocking revelations, unexpected alliances, and a few jaw-dropping moments that only the young and the restless can deliver. Ultimately, these two intertwined storylines highlight the show's enduring ability to combine personal vulnerability with high-stakes drama. As Kyle and Sally struggle to navigate their respective crises, fans can anticipate emotional depth, thrilling suspense, and the kind of plot twists that keep viewers coming back day after day. The next 2 weeks in Genoa City promise to be unforgettable. Conclusion. Genoa City is about to be gripped by intense drama as Kyle Abbott's panic escalates and Sally Spectra's emotional breakdown shocks everyone around her. Over the next 2 weeks, their personal crises will collide in ways that are unpredictable, explosive, and emotionally charged. Fans of the young and the restless can expect jaw-dropping moments, raw vulnerability, and the kind of tension that has made this show a daytime television staple for decades. Whether it's Kyle's desperate attempts to regain control or Sally's struggle to find her footing amid chaos, the drama unfolding promises to be nothing short of mesmerizing. For viewers, one thing is certain. The coming weeks will test these characters like never before, and Genoa City will never be the halls same of Newman again. Enterprises. Tension was thicker than the winter fog hanging over Genoa City. The corporate chessboard had never been more volatile, and the players more unpredictable. At the center of this brewing storm was Phyllis Summers, a woman known for her fierce ambition, sharp mind, and unyielding determination. And now, she was about to put Michael Baldwin in an impossible position. Phyllis had been watching Michael closely. As the dust settled from the recent power struggles, it became painfully clear to her that Michael was walking a tightrope, trying to appease both the law and the Newmans while keeping his moral compass intact. To Phyllis, this was weakness. A dangerous weakness. She had learned the hard way that in the ruthless world of business, hesitation could be fatal. The scene opens in her luxurious office, sunlight streaming through the floor-to-ceiling windows that overlooked the city. Phyllis stood, hands planted firmly on the polished oak desk, eyes flashing with resolve. Michael, always the composed lawyer, appeared uneasy. A subtle shift in his normally confident posture hinted at the storm brewing just beneath the surface. "Michael," Phyllis began, her voice calm but edged with steel, "I think we need to have a little talk about priorities. Yours specifically." Michael's brow furrowed. He knew that tone all too well. It wasn't just a conversation, it was a declaration. He tried to mask his discomfort with a polite smile. "Phyllis, you know I've always had the best interests of Newman Enterprises at heart. Whatever you think." "Don't," she interrupted, holding up a hand. "Don't give me the rehearsed speech. I know what you think, and more importantly, I know what you're willing to risk." "Michael, I've been more than patient. I've supported you, backed your decisions, and even bent the rules for you when necessary. But patience has its limits, and loyalty, well, it needs to be reciprocated." Michael swallowed hard, sensing where this was heading. He had always admired Phyllis for her strategic mind and unflinching demeanor, but this intensity, it was uncharted territory even for him. "Phyllis, he began, only to be cut off again. "No more excuses," she snapped. "This is simple. Either you fully commit to my vision at Newman Enterprises, or you step aside. Because I won't let hesitation or moral hand-wringing jeopardize everything I've worked for." Her words landed like a hammer, echoing off the walls. Michael's jaw tightened. He had faced tough choices before, but Phyllis's ultimatum wasn't just about business. It was personal. She knew his loyalty to the Newmans, his respect for the law, and his inner struggle to do what's right. And now, she was daring him to pick a side. "What exactly do you want me to do, Phyllis?" Michael asked cautiously, trying to gauge the full extent of her demand. Phyllis leaned forward, her piercing gaze locking onto his. "I want you to choose. No more half measures. No more moral gymnastics. Either you support my plan to restructure Newman Enterprises and take decisive control, or you walk away. And believe me, walking away will not be easy." The room was silent for a heartbeat, the tension palpable. Michael could feel the weight of the ultimatum pressing down on him. Every choice carried consequences, personal, professional, and legal. He knew that any hesitation could be seen as betrayal, not only by Phyllis but by the entire Newman family. Michael ran a hand through his hair, thinking fast. Phyllis had always been one step ahead, predicting every move, every hesitation. She was relentless, and Michael knew she wasn't bluffing. But he also couldn't ignore the moral code that had guided him through every storm in Genoa City. "Phyllis, you know I can't just flip a switch," Michael said carefully. "There are legal ramifications, and if I act without full transparency, it could destroy everything and everyone involved." Phyllis's eyes narrowed. She had anticipated this argument. "Michael, do you think I care about the law when it comes to protecting Newman Enterprises? You think I haven't broken a few rules myself? This isn't about legality, it's about survival. And right now, either you survive with me, or you get left behind." Michael's mind raced. He was torn between his loyalty to justice and his growing recognition that Phyllis's vision might actually save the company from spiraling further into chaos. Every fiber of his being screamed caution, yet a small part of him wondered if aligning with Phyllis was the only way to maintain some semblance of control. I need time," he finally said, buying himself a fraction of a second to think. Phyllis's expression hardened. "No, Michael. Time is the one thing you don't have. Consider this your final warning. You have 24 hours to decide. After that, well, let's just say that decisions will be made without you." She turned sharply on her heel, leaving Michael alone with his thoughts. The office felt colder now, the sunlight mocking the storm inside him. 24 hours. That was all he had to choose between loyalty and pragmatism, morality and ambition. As Michael exited the office, the corridors of Newman Enterprises seemed to stretch endlessly. Each step echoed the weight of Phyllis's ultimatum, a reminder that in Genoa City, decisions were never simple and consequences were never forgiving. Meanwhile, Phyllis returned to her desk, a subtle smile playing at her lips. She thrived in these high-stakes moments, feeding off the tension, knowing that power in Newman Enterprises wasn't given. It was taken. and she was ready to take it all. Outside, the city continued its relentless pulse, oblivious to the silent war raging in boardrooms and offices. But in the heart of Newman Enterprises, a storm was brewing. And when the clock struck midnight, Michael Baldwin would be forced to make a choice. One that could alter the power dynamics of Genoa City forever. One thing was certain: Phyllis Summers never played lightly. And for Michael, the next 24 hours would define not just his career, but has always been a town where tensions run high, secrets fester, and relationships are tested. This week on The Young and the Restless, fans can expect an emotional and pivotal storyline as Kyle Abbott and Nate Hastings finally face the long-standing tension between them. For weeks, Kyle has been grappling with feelings of betrayal, mistrust, and frustration, while Nate has struggled to navigate the aftermath of past misunderstandings and broken promises. What fans might not have expected, however, is how raw and revealing this confrontation will become, promising explosive drama and heartfelt reconciliation. It all begins with an incident that reignites the tension between the two men. Kyle, ever the perfectionist and deeply protective of his family, overhears a conversation that he misinterprets as Nate undermining his efforts at Jabot. The misunderstanding ignites Kyle's simmering frustration. In a heated scene at Kyle's office, the Abbott heir confronts Nate, his voice sharp and his posture rigid, demanding an explanation for what he perceives as Nate's interference. Nate, caught off guard by Kyle's intensity, initially reacts defensively. His own emotions are raw. He has been trying to prove himself, not just professionally but personally, as someone who can be trusted. The writers have crafted a layered exchange here, showing that both men are driven by loyalty and pride, but in different ways. Kyle's loyalty is rooted in his family legacy and his need to uphold the Abbott name, while Nate stems from a desire to be seen as competent and honorable, despite being an outsider in the family's corporate world. The confrontation escalates, and viewers are treated to one of the most emotionally charged scenes in recent weeks. Kyle accuses Nate of scheming behind his back, implying that the Hastings executive has ulterior motives. Nate, however, counters with the truth. The actions Kyle witnessed were taken to protect Jabot from a risky merger that could have jeopardized the company. The tension in the scene is palpable. Kyle's anger, mixed with guilt, meets Nate's frustration at being misunderstood. It's here that the show cleverly shifts from conflict to introspection. Both men are forced to reflect on their insecurities and their stubbornness. Kyle realizes that his assumptions have fueled a wedge between him and someone who, despite their differences, has his best interests at heart. Nate, meanwhile, grapples with the emotional toll of being constantly second-guessed and misjudged. The dialogue is sharp but layered with vulnerability, allowing fans to see a side of both men rarely explored: their humanity. The reconciliation begins subtly, with a quiet moment that breaks the tension. Kyle, who rarely shows vulnerability, lets down his guard and admits that he's been feeling the pressure of living up to the Abbott legacy. He confesses that he fears failure, not just for himself, but for those he loves. Nate listens, offering a rare moment of understanding and compassion. This scene highlights the skillful writing, balancing high-stakes corporate drama with the intimate, personal stakes of friendship and trust. From here, the storyline takes a surprising twist. Rather than a simple apology, Kyle and Nate are forced to collaborate on a critical project for Jabot. The project, a high-profile acquisition, requires them to set aside differences and work together seamlessly. Fans can expect scenes filled with tension, but also moments of camaraderie that hint at a budding respect between the two men. The writers use this as an opportunity to show character growth. Kyle learning to trust others, and Nate gaining confidence in his ability to navigate the cutthroat world of corporate Genoa City. One of the most compelling aspects of this storyline is the subtle exploration of privilege and perspective. Kyle, born into wealth and expectation, often struggles to understand the challenges Nate faces as someone who has had to fight for every opportunity. Nate, on the other hand, occasionally underestimates the pressure Kyle feels under the weight of the Abbott name. Their journey to reconciliation is not just about resolving personal conflict. It's about understanding the perspectives and struggles of someone from a different background. As the week progresses, viewers will also see the impact of this reconciliation on other characters. Lily, Kane, and even Jack Abbott notice the subtle shift in Kyle's demeanor. There's a newfound respect in the way he treats Nate, and an appreciation for Nate's loyalty and skill. The show hints that this truce could have wider implications for future storylines, potentially affecting boardroom dynamics at Jabot, and altering alliances in unexpected ways. The climax of this mini-arc comes during a private conversation late one evening at Jabot. Both men, exhausted from the day's work and the tension they've endured, sit down and lay everything bare. Kyle apologizes sincerely, acknowledging his mistakes and the unfair assumptions he made. Nate, in turn, admits that his pride sometimes got in the way of building trust. It's a quiet, human moment, a stark contrast to the explosive confrontations Genoa City viewers are used to. The emotional honesty is palpable, leaving fans rooting for a lasting friendship and partnership between the two men. Interestingly, the writers don't make this reconciliation feel rushed or simplistic. There's a sense that the past conflicts will leave lingering effects, adding layers to their future interactions. The tension, now replaced with cautious optimism, serves as a reminder that in Genoa City, trust is hard-earned but transformative once achieved. Finally, the episode closes on a hopeful note. Kyle and Nate, having cleared the air, work side by side on a critical presentation, their teamwork seamless. It's a visual and symbolic representation of their renewed alliance, hinting that they may become a formidable duo within Jabot, and perhaps in their personal lives as well. Fans are left with the anticipation of future storylines where this newfound respect and collaboration could change the dynamics of Genoa City forever. In conclusion, the Kyle and Nate arc is a testament to the show's ability to combine tension, emotion, and character growth. From fiery confrontations to heartfelt apologies, this storyline offers a rich narrative that will resonate with longtime fans and casual viewers alike. It's a reminder that even in a town rife with secrets, betrayals, and corporate machinations, genuine understanding and communication can pave the way for reconciliation, and perhaps a stronger bond than ever before. For fans eagerly following The Young and the Restless, the Kyle and Nate storyline promises drama, emotion, and hope, a rare and satisfying combination that underscores why Genoa City remains the ultimate setting for intrigue, ambition, and heartfelt storytelling.